Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're having a wonderful day. What was I thinking? Oh god, ADHD. Wonderful. Just watched episode 5 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And got episode 4 ready to go just beforehand. It's uploaded, thumbnails done, and it's set to premiere. And who knows, this may go up not too long after it if I can edit it quickly enough. So, yes, this was overall a decent episode. The last one it ended on a very high note and it resolved the immediate consequences of that very early in the episode. So overall, this episode was good, just not good as the last one. I'll go over the bullet points now, but yeah, like I'll save why I'm not quite as hot on this for the end, going through the bullet points. The opening scene does start on US Aid losing it immediately after having killed that guy and ran to an abandoned warehouse for some reason. Then there's a good old amount of action. You know, not very much I can do there. Some stuff happens. Of note, Shield gets taken back. US agent arm gets broken, but super soldier, so ain't gonna be that way for long. And Falcon's wings get torn, but that immediately gets resolved within this episode by Bucky calling in a favor from the Wakanda people and getting new wings. Like they're trying to save it as this big reveal, but it's like, we all know what's gonna happen. It's just a new design. You change it up every time, so you have a reason to make new toys with each film. You know? We all know you're just getting to that new design. There's no need to fool us. Where were we? After that, and after the title? I guess you can call it that. It's just a blank screen with the name on it. It's not as memorable as the WandaVision stuff. We just see GRN, or GRC, whatever they're called, really abusing power because of Carly's existence. They're using it as an excuse to just round up every immigrant in the country in these displaced refugee camps. Just raid them, arrest them, and get them ready for deportation. Not exactly pleasant business, now is it? But they think they have all the justification they have. Later scene says they'll see the narrative we show them, which is very cynical of people in general, but historically true. So, let's see. US agent then gets stripped of his title because of, the things he had. The beheading that was recorded in a foreign country, but I think once you have recordings of someone beheading someone, I don't think the location of where it happened is the problem. I think it happening at all is what screws the pooch. We get introduced to someone named Countess Val, but not exactly sure of her comic book history or if she's an original character or what's going to happen with her. All I know was a very memorable intro to her, and I enjoyed it. I hope something happens with her character, but yeah. Oh yeah, then we get Carly mad. I'll just say it now. The context of how this episode ends will come in a few minutes' time. They probably could have done with like some egregious abuse by these GRC people with one of the refugee camps. Like, just above and beyond the normal abuses, and like just have people thinking, your lives aren't really worth much, so we can do whatever we want, and have Carly stop them within this episode. That because by the end of it, it's sorely lacking some action. The first thing is like incredibly impressive, but like it needed a little something more in there somewhere. It just needed another major beat, because otherwise it's basically wrapping everything else up and setting up for the final episode. It just needed another beat in there somewhere to make it feel more full. Overall, I was feeling a bit empty. Yeah, I kind of jumped the gun there, but hey. Yeah, then there's this to that note of just wrapping things up. Zemo and Bucky have a little dialogue at the monument to Sokovia. Just reminiscing about them. Well, not he was reminiscing, Zemo, just a bit sad about it. And then Bucky makes a fake out like he was gonna kill him, but then doesn't, to show how far he's grown as a person and, not still just the Winter Soldier. But, like, he was hiding bullets in his hand. His metal hand that shouldn't have any give whatsoever, like flesh. Just gotta put on my lap and hope it doesn't fall. Flesh, you poke into it, it gives a little bit. Metal. Just how did he hide metal bullets in a metal hand without it being like noticeably displaced? It was just like tight fist the whole time, which you could, I suppose, feasibly do. I think a full clip is a bit much, and then it doesn't really add anything else once you've shown, oh no, the gun is empty. Actually, it probably would have been a better reveal just to hold up his fist and drop the bullets as opposed to pulling the trigger. That actually would have been a better payoff instead of like it just being gratuitous to the scene. But how did he do it? How did he do it? It should have been noticeable he was holding something in his fist. It's like, there's also another little scene where like the metal on the hand kind of warps a little bit, like, the actor's hand they were just CGing on top of, like, just twisted in a way that is natural for like a human hand, but just makes the metal on his like hand kind of concave a little bit on what's supposed to be a solid bit. So not convex, one of the two, like stalactite or stalagmite. One's one thing and one's another, but don't ask me to assign which. Oh yeah, just overall, Zemo and Bucky play well off each other. They work well together. Oh yeah, then we go into Isaiah Bradley, or was it Walker? I think they referred to him as Walker at some point. Dang it, I want to get his name right. Either way, they go into his history and what he did during the, I think it was described as the Vietnam War? Anyway, basically he and a bunch of other people in his battalion, were all just like injected with quote unquote tetanus shots, but in fact they were just human guinea pigs. And then they were going, when some of them got caught, they were going to just destroy an entire POW camp, which I'm pretty sure is a war crime, So just like medical experimentation, war crimes. I mean, that's just accurate to US history, US government, real bastards sometimes. No denying it. Yeah, and then luckily a nurse helped fake his death, took pity on him after his wife had died, and just allowed him to live out his life. It's truly a tragic ending. And the thing that got me the most is, I wish they had done this with Steve. That would have been the most impactful. And I guess this is just the way it worked out with the streaming, and TV shows. But, God, I just could only imagine, like, the direct confrontation between the two of them would have been amazing. On to the next page. Only 2 pages today. Again, episode a bit empty. Oh god, got me to laugh out loud. Sam and Bucky just fix up that old shipping boat, not shipping, fishing boat that belonged to Sam's parents, and it's just delightful little scene. It's charming, but at the same time, I enjoyed watching it. But it's like cinematically, it's like Pringles. You like it, you can't stop once you start having it. But, like 20 minutes later, you're wondering, did I even eat anything? Like, again, I enjoyed it, but it's not like a lot of things happening in it. It's just the one thing spread out a decent amount of time. I didn't hate while watching it, but like thinking back on it, it just doesn't leave that big of a block in my memory, you know? And Sarah, Sam's sister, a lot of names, creative on the parents' part. Just looking over Bucky. Maybe wants to do something with him. Father of the children been dead a long time, I think. Or I'm not one to judge what the young person gets up to. Yeah. But yeah, she was sad and Bucky. Be interesting, but then yeah. Oh dang! I think I made me remember the time, and then immediately forgot the person he was flirting with in the first episode. The show's moved on from her, so meh. Okay. Where was I? Lamar, that was the sidekick's name for U.S. Agent, who I cannot remember his name either, so I'm just calling U.S. Agent. No, wait. No, it was Isaiah Bradley and John Walker. That's me getting confused. Anyhow, his family missed him, and it was a touching scene, but also showed like where he was as a morally great character, U.S. Agent. Because like he wants to provide closure, but like he also lies, and it's a mix of sense of wanting to provide comfort, saying he killed the person who killed Lamar, but also a sense of pride for him. Like, he's a real twisted character, and I like that. What's it talking about feelings? They did that at some point, which I enjoyed. About I skipped some parts here. Oh no, I'm just dyslexic and I was jumping back and forth between the two of them. So, talking about feelings between Sam and Bucky, just tossing the shield about where they're at. That was nice. Then happened the thing. What made me remember the mix-up between the two of them that got me confused. Sarah and Sam were talking, and it's like, oh, yeah, when do you get all sensitive? And it's like, please don't. Please don't. It's slight little things like that just... Society, in terms of society at large, I want to say societally, but I'm mispronouncing that. That just subtly reinforce this notion like men have to be stoic and can't show and express emotions. You know, like we're seeing with Bucky and earlier in like episode 1, struggling to just open up to his therapist. That's not good. It's not healthy, and it's a cheap joke that isn't funny. Just like Alan's screenwriting right now, and happens to someone across this, retire the joke. Move on, and think of something either funny or corny for the character to say, that isn't fitting with their character. Don't just rely on these old jokes that have been in 1,000 shows before. Oh yeah, then we get S.H.I.E.L.D. training. More of that. It was a nice little scene, but again, Pringles. Cinematic Pringles. I enjoyed watching it, but it doesn't leave the biggest impact. Colleen Leaper, then playing... Oh, dang. Yeah, damn, almost at the end of my notes. See, well, I do ramble for a bit, so it'll still be close to 20 minutes. But yeah, Colleen Leaper, they just mutually aligned goals of screwing over Sam. So they get together and, they're going to mess things up in the next episode, which is what this entire episode was kind of setting up for. Which is why I'm like, I probably could have done that better, but like, tapered off. I'm still like the episode, but really tapered off from last time, which was just a straight shot up to me enjoying it. Anyhow. Oh yeah, then like they're tracking the thing and like, they get hit inside of New York as opposed to Europe, where every other one has been. And it's like the tech guy tracking it says, well, they could be using a VPN, but we know they aren't. And it's like, why aren't they? Oh, wait, I think I skipped. Earlier in the fight scene, US Agent takes off his helmet and then gets several blows to the head, which knock him down. It's why did he do that? why did he do that? That was dumb. Anywho, yeah, then we get some inside things before we know everything's gonna end. Like, of just the GRC being absolute dicks about, well, some of them are kind of neutral and empathetic, but there's just some who are like incredibly entitled and think the whole endeavor is a waste of time instead of just immediately jumping to like the mass deportation of people who helped rebuild society after the snap. Just terrible. Anyhow, then, we get the intermingling of the gods, that are actually on the side of the Flag Smashers, and then a blackout. And that's it. We get the hint of Sam opening the case without having taken out his new suit, and that's the end. It was a bad place to end on. I just feel like there was like a missing beat on the end of him like flying off to deal with it, or an earlier beat of, like I said, Carly and the rest of the Flag Smashers actually providing some beneficial good to like the people. Because all we've ever seen is like them giving food and whatnot, which is that, but it's like we don't really see it on screen, so it's hard to get that emotional feel. But actually seeing some people abuse their power on these refugees and them stepping in to save the day would have been a good scene. And before I forget again, this is a complete tangent. Comic Drake did a little video about the origin of Flag Smasher. He was a character, now it's transitioned into a group with Carly as the leader. And there was that old lady died that kind of unified them all. And like that would have been perfect to make, instead of just being some random old lady, make that the original Flag Smasher, the original character. And then have them take on the name in the, in honor of said person, to know he was actually operating the world all that time. That would have actually been amazing. Because as is, they're just kind of appropriating this name with a character so radically redesigned that the only thing connecting the two characters is the name. Which can work sometimes, like a race change or sex change or both for a character that's kind of fallen into obscurity, but normally it doesn't have some like tie either through like powers, design of the outfit, or backstory, but like none of it connects whatsoever between the two characters. And just having that person who was gonna die be the original character would have been great. Anyway, that's 18 minutes. Episode ended in a bad place, so I don't really have much more to say about it. It's like, what can I say? It just abruptly ends. Just abruptly ends without a satisfying conclusion. But it wasn't a terrible episode overall. I was just very high off the last episode, and this one ended in a bad place, but overall it was pretty good. So yeah. Well, just because I didn't mention before, in the outro, got a streaming channel. Please do check that out. Link below and in the about section. There's also a relevant Twitch for it, so if that's what you prefer your streaming on, check that out. Dearly appreciated. And now, very awkwardly, because I just don't have anything else to say, outro. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful time. Be sure to like, comment, share the video about the place, and to subscribe. And also, if you're feeling exceptionally generous, take a look at my Patreon. Thank you very much for your time. Ta-ta, Wiedersehen, until we meet again.